That's a crazy jump. Have you hacked my system? What is going on here? Water would probably get along with everyone. Peeves the Poltergeist is awesome. Hey everyone, welcome to December of 2023. Whether you're watching from the near future, in which case happy holidays, or the distant future looking back to see what did I have to review about the year 2023, but that's what this video is going to be, just talking about how my channel did this year. Also, what is happening in the fandoms a little bit? What has happened this past year and how do I feel about it? In Marvel, in Disney Pixar, in Harry Potter, I guess not much has happened this year, but I'll talk about it. But basically, this is going to be a quick-ish year in review. But before I get to that, just a warning, I don't plan to post videos the next 2 Mondays. It's going to be Christmas Day and New Year's Day, both holidays my family celebrates. So I'm going to take those Mondays off. So in 3 weeks though, once we're back into 2024, I look forward to jumping back in then. So look forward to that. Now, the first thing I want to touch on in reviewing the year 2023 is how did my channel do? If this is not something that interests you, feel free to skip ahead. I won't be offended. I won't blame you. But personally, when I look back on some of the other channels that I like to watch, sometimes I enjoy just going back to their earlier videos and seeing what they were like back then. How did they start? Where did they come from? But one thing that's always missing is the idea of how were they doing at that point. You go back to those videos and their viewership is much more comparable to their newer videos. People are going back and watching older ones. So it's not going to be indicative of how their viewership actually was. And you can't see historical subscribers. You just see their current subscribers. Oh, okay, they're at 3 million subscribers. They definitely weren't when this video came out. So just to be able to give an idea of where we are now and where we have come from this past year is just something I want to touch on. So I pulled the numbers for this year and where we were last year and what our new totals are. So here's what we have. So this year we have released 31 new videos, so we're up to 91 total. I did not realize we had that many videos out. That is actually pretty crazy. We got 41,000 new views on our videos this year, bringing us to a total of about 46,000. So we were about 5,000 total views on our first 60 videos before this year. And since that point, we've gotten 41,000 more. We have 2,225 watch hours this year, bringing us to a total of 2,468. And we have 283 new subscribers. Hey, new subscribers, welcome. To bring us to a total of 324. So I love numbers. So to me, seeing these things is a lot of fun. But what does this actually mean? Well, to me, it means that the channel is still a small channel. Nothing wrong with that. But boy, has there been growth. I mean, going from 5,000 total views to 46,000 total views, that's a crazy jump. If we continue along that pace, we'll be at like 500,000 by next year, which is, I don't know, it's just weird to think about. I don't expect that growth. But yeah, it's just really neat to see where we were last year and how this past year has gone. It's been a lot of fun making these videos, and that's really why I'm doing it. But it's nice to see those numbers rise. So now it's great to see the numbers rise, and it's great to be able to experience this video creation process. It's a lot of fun. But there's one topic that I avoided talking about in the last Uncanny chats, but it keeps coming up, and I feel like I need to address it. And that is my new complicated relationship with the Super Carlin Brothers channel. So I released a video on the Weasley twins and how they deciphered the Marauders map. If you'd like to watch that video, click the link above. But I released that video on a Monday, and I think it was about a week and a day later, the Super Carlin Brothers released a very similar looking video. Like mine was about the Weasley twins and how they deciphered the Marauders map, and that's exactly what the Super Carlin Brothers made their video on. I thought that was really interesting that like there wasn't really any triggering events. How did these two videos come out around the same time? And I've gotten so many comments since then on my video about, did the Carlin Brothers steal my video? Or why is this so similar to the Carlin Brothers video? And it was like, I don't know. The thing is, thinking about it since then, like people have asked, did they steal my video? No. I since that time, I have gone back and I've watched their video, and they have some different ways that they go about this, some different things that they cite. They have their own spin on the whole thing. So it's possible they saw my video and thought, hey, this is a great idea, let's do one too. I don't know. It's not likely considering how small my channel is compared to theirs, but maybe. the thing is, I don't think this was them I don't think they're going around stealing the ideas of small channels. And the biggest reason I think that is because of the videos that have come out since then. So I keep on my phone, I keep a list of video ideas. So as I come up with an idea, I'll put it on the list. And then as I come up with like, wait a minute, this supports that, or wait, this disproves it. Then I go and I adjust notes. One of the upcoming videos that I was working on, which I've since decided there really isn't a lot of, there isn't enough information I really want to go about this, but maybe it'll be a mini theory or something later on. But one of the next videos that I had listed to work on at one point was Olaf is omniscient. And it's essentially about how Olaf seems to know a lot of things that he shouldn't know. He seems to have a lot more knowledge than you'd expect. So is there something there? And I'm not going to spoil my theory because I might end up doing this at some point. But anyway, that is one I was actively working on. And then YouTube recommends a video from the Super Carlin brothers of Olaf is always right. I look at my phone and I'm like, wait a minute. I haven't made this one yet. Like, how? How, Carlin brothers? Have you hacked my phone? Have you hacked my system? What is going on here? I really think it's just that they are looking at the same fandoms I'm looking at, and they're coming to some of the same conclusions. They're just finding some of the same information and thinking, wait a minute, Olaf knows a lot of information. Maybe he is always right. And I did watch that video when I decided, all right, I'm not going to be pushing this video. I'm not going to be making this one. Maybe down the road I will. So I did end up going ahead and watching their video. It is completely different than what I had in mind. So not worried there. I still feel like I could make that video in the future if I wanted to. But my mind was blown when I saw that they had the same idea, or similar idea. And then when Inside Out 2's trailer dropped, and I watched it, and immediately my mind started churning about what is happening here. And I had this idea about, like, why is Riley getting new emotions? Her parents don't have new emotions. We've seen many other people's minds. There aren't more than 5 emotions there. What's the deal? And so immediately I wrote down the start of my theory. I spent time that evening and I went back and I watched Inside Out, and I rewatched a lot of the end clips. I watched them over and over, and I compiled my theory. But I was in the middle of working on another one, and I wanted to finish that one first. So it takes a little bit more time for me to get these theory videos out. Being a parent, working full time, having a lot of other responsibilities, I can't, like, in a matter of days, put out a new theory video. So I was working on it. In the week or so that it took me, maybe a week and a half, it took me to get this video out, the Carlin brothers released 2 videos on the topic. Like, not 1, 2. And so, of course, I couldn't watch those videos until I released my video because I didn't want to be influenced at all. And it's just, so basically, 2 things. 1, my relationship with that channel has gotten a lot more complicated recently now that I'm producing theory videos myself. I don't want to be influenced by them. So I have to make sure that I'm not watching things that I might make a theory video on myself. But 2, to answer the question that I've gotten quite a bit in the comment section from the Weasley Twins Marauders map video, no, I don't think they are copying my videos. Like, I'm not worried about that at all. My channel is much too small, and maybe they see it and get ideas, and if that's the case, great, run with those ideas. They're doing a great job too. I think YouTube is big enough for the 2 of us. So anyway, I just wanted to quickly address that situation. I am not worried about that, and I'm happy that they were able to come up with a similar theory video, and it got the results that they did. All right, so now looking at the fandoms and how they have performed this past year. And I'm going to start with the one that has released the most this year in Marvel, in the MCU. There's still been a lot. Marvel has really been pumping out a lot of material the past few years, and this year has been no exception. Now, I might be missing something, or I might be a little off, but I believe what they've come out with this year has been Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, The Marvels, I Am Groot Season 2, Secret Invasion, Loki Season 2, and What If Season 2 is coming. I am not going to be, like, I haven't seen it yet. It hasn't released yet as of the recording. It's coming out in a few days. So that one's coming too. So a lot has happened this year in Marvel, in the MCU. So how has it gone? I feel like there's a lot out there about superhero fatigue, and I can kind of see that a little bit. I released a video a long time ago addressing, is Marvel going downhill? Is it failing? I feel like there's some things that they have tried that are not working. And yeah, there's some fatigue over them constantly trying new things, trying to push out things that don't really fit with everything else that's going on. And there have been some missteps in there. But is there superhero fatigue? Maybe. It very well could be that there's, with so many superhero movies coming out, there's a chunk of the audience that is just like, you know what, I'm ready for the next thing. There's also a chunk of the audience who can never get enough of this stuff. I'm never going to have superhero fatigue. I don't get tired of things. Hence why I am currently doing a YouTube channel talking about Disney, Pixar, Harry Potter, and Marvel. Like, these are things that are not new. These are things that have been around a while. I'm not going to get tired of them. Like, that's just who I am. So, like, there is an audience that is still going to love these movies, still going to watch these movies. Maybe not love all of them. Maybe not love them as much as we love some of the earlier ones. But I feel like I'm still going to watch them. So I think there's still an audience that's going to carry forward. And I do look forward to seeing the shift that they going forward. I think they're going to adjust. I mean, I believe they only have one movie scheduled for 2024 currently, which I'll talk about 2024 in another video. But I believe the Deadpool 3 is the only movie they have currently released or currently planned for next year. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe slowing down a little bit and taking the time on these videos to make sure it all corresponds and connects, it could be good for Marvel. And I'm not saying that I have hated this past year. By no stretch of the imagination. Loki Season 2 was awesome. I loved it. I love Season 1 and I love Season 2. The Marvels, I really enjoyed the Marvels. Like, I wouldn't put it on par with, like, Endgame or Infinity War or Captain America Winter Soldier, which is one of my favorite personally. So, like, it's not one of the top movies, but I thought it was very enjoyable, well done, and I liked it, and I'm looking forward to seeing it again. A lot of people didn't choose to see it, and that was their choice. But personally, I enjoyed that one. Quantumania was a little more of a disappointment, but you know, give and take. It's not the bottom of the barrel for me either. I feel like there have been movies in the past that have been less than these. I feel like there have been movies in the past that have been greater than these. So maybe our standards have just risen to the point where middle-of-the-road Marvel movies aren't going to cut it for the general audience. I don't know. I look forward to seeing Marvel continue into the future. Doesn't sound like they plan to stop by any stretch of the imagination, which is great. So I look forward to seeing the future. And I enjoyed this past year. And I have to say, What If, the first What If season, like, every episode just, like, triggered so many theories in me, got me thinking about things. I adored What If Season 1. And so I'm super excited for What If Season 2. And I'm hoping it's good. It worries me a little bit that they're changing the release schedule to be, like, one a day for however many days and just releasing it all at once. Because I don't think that's usually a good sign in a release schedule when they decide to just throw it all out at once. But I love the idea of, like, what if something else happened? That's really the whole basis of this channel, is what if something was being triggered by something else, or what if this is what's causing this situation. So really looking forward to What If coming out in a few days. Anyway, but that is my thoughts on Marvel this past year. I think it's going to continue. I think they're going to right the ship. But in the past year, it has still been enjoyable for me personally. Next up, I'll talk about Disney Pixar. They have released, I believe, 3 movies this year. There's The Little Mermaid live action. There was Elemental was this year. Yeah, I believe that was this year. And then there was Wish. Now, I hate to admit it, I haven't seen Wish yet. It looks like it could be good. I just haven't had the time to go out and see it. And honestly, it hasn't thrilled me enough to go there and see it. It might be fantastic. I don't know. So I look forward to seeing that one and seeing how it was at some point down the road. But for now, I can't talk about that one. But Elemental, I really enjoyed. And I was surprised. I saw that when it was first in theaters, and then I was surprised that it didn't perform as well early on. And I thought it was a really good movie. I thought it was very interesting, the idea of the different elements coming together and living in this city, and how there were conflicts between the different elements, and it made sense. Like, there's, like, very literal harm that can come from some of these other elements. Like, if you're made of fire, you don't want to hang out with water. If you're a tree, you don't want to bump into fire. There's Although I guess a tree would kind of like to hang out with water. Water would probably get along with everyone. Anyway, I thought it was a very interesting concept, and I thought the movie was very well done, and I've enjoyed seeing it multiple times. So I thought that was a great one. So I was glad later on down the road when it seemed like it kind of got a bit of a resurgence a little later in its run. Instead of kind of appearing and then disappearing, it kind of wasn't there at the beginning, and then people started going. So maybe they heard the reviews and was like, oh, this is actually going to be better than I thought. Anyway, I loved Elemental. So that one I thought was a success. Little Mermaid, I really enjoyed Little Mermaid. When I saw it the first time, I was like, yeah, I'll see this again. And I don't think I have. But I did enjoy that one as well. I think they did a good job with a lot of that movie as well. So personally, Disney Pixar, I think, has had a pretty good year overall. Maybe not the numbers. I know that movie theater numbers have been down across the board. And Disney and Pixar has kind of been part of that, suffering from lower numbers than they'd expect. I don't know how Wish is doing recently, but it sounds like initially it wasn't getting the numbers it wanted. I don't know if that'll turn around, but I think personally for the material that they had, I enjoyed the two that I've seen thus far. Hopefully I'll enjoy Wish. And the third fandom, Harry Potter, the third big fandom, Harry Potter. There hasn't been a lot of new news recently in the Harry Potter world for movies and stuff like that, but we do know HBO is working on a Harry Potter TV show. And I'm super excited for that. I really feel like these books will fit better in a TV show format than in a movie format. The movies were great. I enjoyed them. I think they were very, very well done. And I'm probably going to watch them multiple times on this vacation coming up because my kids like to watch them too, which is awesome. But I really feel like it's going to thrive as a TV show because there's so many details that show up that end up playing a role down the road, but the movies just didn't include them. And the result was they then had to change down the road, and it kind of lost some of the awesome little things that just caused this whole fandom to run. Like, I mean, Peeves the Poltergeist is awesome. He is such a fun character. He wasn't in the movies at all. There's just a lot of material in the books that not being in the movies, I feel like really takes away from the story. And maybe this time, when Dumbledore asks Harry if he put his name in the Goblet of Fire, he can actually do so calmly. I don't know. Personally, that is probably the biggest change I think I'd have to make, is that one. Dumbledore being calm in that scene, because Dumbledore is kind of a know-all character, and so I feel like him being calm in that situation fits the character we know in the books. So that change, and I want Peeves in there. I want to see Peeves throwing wet socks at kids in the hallway. It's a really, really weird thing to say. But anyway, and the interactions between Peeves and McGonagall in the book, where she's like giving him advice on like how to do it better. Like those type of little details. I really hope they put those in the TV show. I want everything in the TV show. And I think it could be a really amazing product. So I am looking forward to that. I think it's really far down the road. I don't even know if it's going to be ready in 2024. So that's really far down the road. But really, I think that's kind of the only news in the Harry Potter world from this past year. There've been no new movies, no new books. Like, it's just the fandom has been kind of in homeostasis this past year. But still, it's a great fandom and has been a lot of fun. So basically, that is my year in review, talking about kind of where my channel has gone this past year, which has been a lot of fun. Thank you for coming along for the ride. And also a little bit about where the fandoms have been this past year, what has come out, and a little bit about my thoughts on them. But I hope you enjoyed this. Happy holidays if it's still the holidays. And if you're watching from the distant future, let me know in the comments where you're coming from. Well, I guess I'll be there too, reading the comments. But anyway, thank you for watching and have a great next few weeks.